So you all, here's a fun fact for you. According to the, in my notes over here, so according to the National Institute of Drug Abuse, relapse rates for addiction resemble those of other chronic diseases, such as diabetes, hypertension, and asthma. The statistics in numbers, the statistics indicate that anywhere from 40 to 60% of people with addiction will experience a relapse. What's going on, you all? I'm Jay Bryan. Welcome to Millennial Man Porn Recovery, and we're doing our third step. We're talking about our third step in the 7 steps to porn addiction recovery process. This is our third step. This step is called IDing triggers. ID triggers. So step 1 is to determine addiction, figure out if you're addicted or not, and move accordingly, right? Number 2 is to put up the wall, putting up those filters, getting a filter protector, things like that. Talked about that in the last video. The next step, step 3, is ID your triggers. ID your triggers. Okay? So here's the thing. There are several possible roads to recovery. There's a lot of different ways to recover from a pornography addiction. This information I'm providing isn't the only way. There are coaching programs. I went through a coaching program, counseling. There are all groups, books, church, your own personal religious experience, meditation. There are all kinds of paths to recovery, right? But you want to know one of the most simple ones? One of the most simple ones involves identifying your triggers. And you'll find that a lot of programs have that in common. They'll tell you, you need to find out what triggers you. What triggers you to look for porn, okay? What triggers you to look for it in the first place? So let's talk about this a little more. Number 1, let's define a trigger. A trigger is a person, place, thing, or situation that makes you want to watch pornography. A person, place, thing, or situation that makes you want to watch pornography. Man, I remember, one of the main situations that would lead me to want to watch pornography, that would trigger me, is stress. Really, really strong feelings of stress. I used to get bullied a lot when I was a kid, and one of the things that I ran to get some relief from that was pornography. So that low self-esteem, that stress of not wanting to go to the school I was going to because of that bullying, that led to me needing some relief. And one of those ways of relief was pornography. It was pornography. So that's an example of a situation. Could be a person, could be a specific place. I've heard songs that have triggered me before or have caused me to have an urge. So that's a trigger, a person, place, thing, or situation that makes you want to watch pornography. Now, how do we ID our triggers? How do we find out what, okay, you might say, okay, Jay, I hear you. ID my triggers. How do I find that out? Now, you might have an idea just right now of what some of your triggers are. You might know. But there are some that you may not realize. Things that are triggering you to want to watch pornography from time to time, and you don't even realize that they're triggers. So here's how we actually identify triggers. The ones that you know, just write them down, right? That's smart. But here's an exercise that you can do. I want you to think about the last time, or think about the time before that, or any time that you have slipped or relapsed. A slip is when you watch pornography. It turns to a relapse if you do it again in a 24-hour period. or less, right? It's called a relapse. Think about the last time you slipped or relapsed. What happened? And here's where I want you to kind of get your recovery journal or whatever, wherever you take your notes and write your stuff down. Your phone is fine. I don't care. Think about what happened in the 24 hours, the day leading up to it. What did you have a rough day at work? Were your kids getting on your nerves? Did you have a fight with your significant other? Did you hear a song that reminded you of your college days or your teenage days when you were chasing girls and stuff like that? What happened during that day leading up to that slip or relapse? That will begin to give you some hints as to what kind of things trigger you. Again, some things are more in front of you, out there in front of you, easy to recall. Some things you may not realize. For example, I didn't realize that a trigger for me is being alone with access to pornography. Being alone, being by myself, like I'm by myself right now, but I don't have access to pornography. I don't have access. I'm alone. I didn't know that was a trigger for me when I first began my journey of getting control of my addiction. So think about what happened that 24 hours leading up to that last slip or relapse. And that's number two. So first thing, just the definition of a trigger, which is a person, place, thing, or situation that makes you want to watch pornography. Number two, think about the last time or the time before that or any time that you slipped or relapsed, and think about what happened or some of the things that happened the day leading up to that. That might help you understand what some of your triggers are. Number three, record this information in a journal. I don't care if it's an audio journal. Some people like to do like notes and memos. If you want to do that, that's fine. But take that information down, okay? Because you want to know what your particular triggers are. Now, some you're not going to know right now. Some you may not figure out until you've slipped again or relapsed again down the road. That's okay. That's okay. That's part of it. I'll do a video on what to do when you lapse or relapse or slip or relapse down the road. Okay, we'll talk about that. Some you won't know until after the fact, but record all the triggers that you do know from doing that exercise. Write them down, along with access, high stress. If I overeat, that triggers me to want to watch porn. Seriously, I've heard all kinds of things. Feet. I've heard all kinds of things. So record that information, okay? And then number four, look at each trigger in your journal or your memo, listen to each one. Put a blocker on it. What is a blocker? It's just another word for boundary. I just made up a self-branded term for it. Justin, what's a blocker? It's the same thing as a boundary. I just call it a blocker, right? So a blocker. What is a blocker? A blocker is basically it's like a little small gate, a fence that you put around each trigger to prevent it from happening. Let me give you an example. Being alone with access was a trigger for me. What did I do? I made it so I don't have access. I have no access. I take that back. I do have access on a couple of devices, but it's my wife's device and my kids' two devices. So I'm not doing it on those. Like me personally, I'm not. So I won't say I don't have any access, but I don't have access in the way that I would be willing to use. It completely goes against my value system to do that on my wife's or my kid's device. So I'm not going to do that. Okay. What's another one? I'm using my own personal examples. High stress. So what's a boundary for high stress? A boundary for high stress is making sure that I keep my self-care up. That's my blocker for stress. If I can keep my self-care in top notch, getting my hair cut, getting sleep, drinking my water, There's different things that go into my own self-care regimen. Those types of things, washing my face every day, keeping myself groomed, those types of things are important. That's the blocker that helps reduce stress for me. Also, if there's an activity that's stressing me out that I know is coming, I try to go ahead and start knocking that out if I can. If I can't go ahead and knock it out and take care of it or start taking care of it, I will prepare to the best of my ability. Just make sure I'm prepared with everything that I can. That's my blocker for that. That helps to prevent or at least lessen that particular trigger. What are your triggers that you've identified? What are the blockers that you put into place for these triggers? Email them to me. Feel free to put them in the comments with some of the things you identified, if you're willing, of course. I know you might want to keep it confidential. Okay. So you all, make sure to subscribe, like, comment, hit the notification bell. Make sure to sign up for our free Manning Your Recovery class that's coming up March 9th, I believe it is, 7 o'clock. I'll make sure and put the 7 o'clock Eastern, 7 p.m. Eastern. So I'll make sure and put that link in the description. It's free of charge. Come to the class. It's confidential. No one's going to know it's you. You won't have to cut on camera or anything like that. It was confidential, and it's for you if you struggle with a porn addiction, if you know someone that struggles with a porn addiction, or if even if you're not sure if you struggle with a pornography addiction, we're going to talk about that in class. Even if you're not sure, you're on the fence, this is a place for you. It's a safe place, and we're going to talk about it, okay? Or I'll talk. You all will be able to use the chat, or you can talk if you would like. But that is coming up March 9th. And it's called Manning Your Recovery, the 7 steps to porn addiction recovery for millennial men, okay? So sign up for that free class. And again, just to recap, we talked about step 3, which is IDing your triggers, identifying your triggers. So a trigger is a person, place, thing, or situation that makes you want to watch pornography. How do you identify your triggers? Well, if you look at number 2, I said, or not look at, but review back to number 2. I said, think about the last time or even any time that you slipped or relapsed, and try to recall what you were doing or what happened the 24 hours leading up to that. Number 3, write those triggers down on a journal. You can say it into an audio note. I don't care. Just record it somewhere. Then number 4, put blockers around each one of those triggers. Put blockers around each one of those triggers. Again, man, I'm Jay Bryan, man. I wish you all the best, my millennial men. And y'all have a wonderful day. I'll see y'all in the next video. Y'all have a great one. Peace.